swing. For whatever reason, he didn't seem to have faith in many golf coaches, and he thought, you know what, I'm going to go and develop something for myself that allowed me to be a golf professional. Now, we all laugh at him. He's still not there, but he's still, after 7 years, sort of slogging away at developing, what is now the latest form of what is iTrainer. And our focus is on golf. We've developed products for other things. We even have the sensor in a bowling ball.
Really?
So they use that for coaching and basically looking at how to improve the bowling ball dynamics. But to answer your question, I met Steve about 3 years ago. My background was electronics, and still is. Well, background is in electronics, and we have a manufacturing facility in Shenzhen in China. Steve and I were talking one day, and he said, "I need someone to manufacture this product for me." And of course, we got talking. And then from my love of golf, this iTrainer business has become and completely consumed me over the last 2 years, so much so that I invested in the company, took the position as COO, and I'm the ugly face of the company. So basically I'm it now. We all the guys spend their time in Hong Kong developing the product, and we've actually been selling the product in the market for almost 2 years. We started with all places duty-free, in-flight duty-free sales. We thought we'll get it out into the market. We'll get some feedback. We have a fairly random mix of people who of course fly globally. And then we started working with the Australian PGA, which I mentioned to you guys off air, and we've got endorsements from the Australian PGA of Germany. We have partners in those countries. And the product has really stood up, in the last 2 years to get something, this complex. I mean, it looks fairly simple and it looks basic, and a lot of people look at it as, well, what is it? It's a sensor that attaches to the club, and then it's an app. But it's a pretty sophisticated system. It's for us, it's rocket science. It looks very simple, and we're trying to make it more simple so anybody can pick the product up and find an aspect or a feature of the system that allows them to improve their golf swing, improve their swing mechanics, have some fun, and basically get more people in the family and friends using the technology. One of the things that we looked at when we started the company was, what are the key pains of the golf industry? And we can't change it, of course, independently, but we thought if we can make a little bit of a difference, that'd stand for something. So what we now have is this system that's a few $100s. It comes with a piece of software that you download from either the Apple App Store or Google Play, and you attach the device to a club, turn it on, and you start.
And the app is free, by the way.
The app's free, of course. Yeah. So basically, what we have here is it's to this. From my understanding, I can't see anything else on the market at the moment that's under thousands of dollars that gives you essentially a home. It's a virtual golf simulation experience, which means you hit a ball and you see a ball flight on a screen. How accurate is it? It's up there. It's as accurate as you want it to be. If you want, for pros, we dial in their club specs, and they put it next to more well-known products in the market that cost a lot more, and they're pretty impressed with it. We've got a long way to go, but it's step by step. We've made the product fun. We're trying to sell it, and offer it to the mass golfing market. Mums and dads use it at home with their kids. If you've got somewhere, all you need is somewhere to swing a golf club. You don't even have to hit real golf balls. You can hit a wiffle ball, as you've just seen us here in the studio with our makeup.
We're going to put you under the test here in a little bit, but
so what we're trying to do here is say, if you've got a mat or you've got a net at home, or you don't, we can provide you with a package for a few $100, or you've got the room in the garage or outside to hit the ball. Some of the older folks who aren't really up to date with technology, this is a great way to get the grandkids and say, look, get off your computer, connect this up for me, and let's go and hit some balls.
Yeah, that's something you can
It's pretty cool.
from talking off air and watching, and then reading and looking at what's online. It's something you can take with you to the driving range with your pad. You don't have to worry about setting up cameras or your phone at the right angle or whatnot. You just put that on, pair it up with your iPad or with your phone, and then hit the shot, and then you can go look at it and see what's going on. And plus, like you said, you've got the video part and all the other stuff that go with it. It makes a lot of sense. And for the price point that this is set at, I mean, it's almost a no-brainer.
Right. Again, we're visiting with Mr. Darren McAtee. He is Chief Operating Officer of Insight iTrainer and iTrainerGolf.com. That's the site,
Correct.
right?
iTrainerGolf.com.
iTrainerGolf.com. You go to that site. Basically, it gives a very good description of what the product is and all. I love the widescreen TV beside the hitting net in the house. And, I deal with a lot of people from the northern lands, let's say, that end up with very harsh winters this year in particular. And they're often contacting me here at the network or even over at the CPC as to what can I do to improve my swing, to improve my game. How do I hit my wedges better? How do I do this? What's the right club for me? How much, when you talk about load on a shaft, what does that mean? There's all these questions in the golf industry.
Yeah.
And I see your product as a real educational tool.
True.
Sure, it's designed and developed for you, the golf professional, to instruct, to use yourself, to hone in, whatever. But for the amateur, it would be a great capability enabling me to look at my swing now and then a month from now look at it and a month from then look at it and see if I'm improving club head speed, if I'm improving impact, if I'm improving, face angle or whatever that I want to look at. It narrows it down to that finite detail.
I mean, honestly, it is a launch monitor.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's what it's giving you, the launch monitor capabilities
without spending $10,000.
Yes, or 20, and it's giving you the home version, like we were just talking about. Pair this up, and we can do some stuff on, in the garage or in the basement. You've got your TVs. It gives you all that stuff, and I'm telling you, it's folks, it's a fraction of the price.
Yeah, Darren, we've talked about several different applications. We've just thrown them out there. Give us a little bit of the platforms that the product itself does.
So, we've spoken about the launch monitor capability. For the rest of the year, we're working on a couple of features. One feature is not just a virtual simulator or a driving range, but actually simulated course play. So if you've ever been in a simulator and you play around a golf, that's the next step.
That's great, dude, because I'm tired of taking my fingers and doing like that on that ball. That wears me out, dude. I'm sorry. Now, hey, that's where it is, man. I mean, it's amazing how much people spend on those games. And now you can just take a club and do that?
True. I mean,
phenomenal.
As we were talking, the virtual golf games that you use on your iPad, I've had parents living in Hong Kong, living in Asia. We've also developed this platform to basically, we have to offer it to everybody, regardless of what language you speak, which is a huge challenge when we're talking about golf terminology. I mean, you won't be, it's,
right.
in Chinese, I mean, the difference between stand backwards, swing backwards, lift your club back, I mean, it can be said so many different ways. So what we've developed here is, and talking with a lot of the parents, and that's the mass market, people who have kids that are playing computer games all the time.
Right.
Here in the US, there's about 5.5 million people that play online golf games. As you said, with your fingers, using the screen, using your fingers. 5.5 million. So, we can see an opportunity for parents and grandparents to say to their kids and their grandkids, "Hey, here's an iTrainer. I don't know how to to connect it to my iPad. You're playing a virtual golf game. Connect this up and show me how it works." And then what we're able to do is, down the path, this is what we're working on, and we already have a system working. We have a system working on PC at the moment, where we have 19 golf courses, and you can play with an iTrainer, you can play 19 golf courses. So the challenge is just to be able to get all that software, so much data into an app this size. That's
yeah.
We're close, but it needs some work. But it's really exciting because that's a specific market that hasn't been addressed, and there's lots of products on the market, but no one's really been able to offer something that can give everyone in the industry something that we think the industry needs. The industry pains of there's so many other sports to do, there's so many other pastimes. Parents trying to get their kids out of the house and doing other things. We think this will play even just a small part to get some more kids playing into golf or playing golf that otherwise wouldn't be.
Right.
And it's
Right. Let's go back into the actual club application of it. Again, this syncs up with any club in your bag. Is that right?
correct. So we have default settings when you switch the unit on. If you just want to switch it on and just start to swing, and like myself, you don't have any patience for reading manuals or going through instructions. You just switch the unit on. Look at your club. I've got a 7-iron. Okay, pick my 7-iron and start swinging. In terms of the launch monitor or the simulator, it'll be fairly accurate. I mean, if you've got 130 mile an hour, swing speed, which few of us have, of course, and our default setting's 100 mile an hour, then something's going to be slightly different. But for the average person, just to get something up and running, that's a bit of fun, and kids don't know the difference, right?
Yeah.
So if you, as a dad, want to be a little more serious, and you want all of the features of the club head speed, and you want to see what your club head speed is at impact versus maximum speed, and you want to see some statistics on the consistency and efficiency of your swing, on your tempo, on your plane, your path. You want to look at the shaft lean, and you want to see different aspects of your swing in 3D. You can see all that, but there's also the fun aspect, and it has to be fun. So we've tried to develop this product so. Again, it's something that everyone can, the family can have a bit of fun with, and not just.
Well, you got the family aspect, but you also got the game improvement aspect, and enjoying the game more and getting more out of your game. And so many people try to buy a game, but this actually is something that you can purchase to use to get it better at the game.
It can, and we've just sort of answering your question about what platforms we've been working on. We have as an aid for coaching. I mean, coaches can use this right now. I mean, Hugh mentioned we have a video capture feature. So you can take a tripod, set the unit up, and you can capture the video along with the 3D swing analysis, and you can send that to your coach. You can look at it in real time. So we've also got that feature. But where we've kind of moved ahead for a couple of years, we've also been working with some world-renowned sports biomechanic companies, and one in particular, and they're very well known here, very well respected, work with a lot of the top athletes. That's all I can say at this stage, but we're looking at developing or completing what we call an interactive coaching system. We call it iTix, the iTrainer Interactive Coaching System. I guess in one sentence, this system is a base coaching platform that allows an average golfer to take their swing from where it is today and see some measurable improvement. And if they then want to share it with their coach, then they can do so. It's not replacing a coach, it's a tool that the coach can use to say, right, I now have I have a biomechanical structure to this system,
Right.
and I can put my coaching theory or my methodology or however I choose to coach on top of this system, which basically means you pick it up, you have confidence that what we've developed is biomechanically based. It's not a subjective theory. It's purely based on science. So it's an objective based.
It's numbers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the view there is to say, for you as a coach, okay, I can offer this to my student. The student goes away and practices. And the student obviously, you can't beat one-to-one tuition, and we all know that.
Right.
But how many people have got the time or can afford to spend, every hour of their practicing day with a coach? You can't. It's just not practical. So we're trying to offer the next best thing, which is you go away and practice. We've got all the numbers in there. We've even got this measurable improvement program that allows the user to see, I'm making an improvement. When we launch this system, it'll be like a subscription-based system where you can choose to pay by the hour. So if you're out in the golf course and you're about to, you've got your round of golf coming at 10 o'clock and you're on the tee, practice tee at 9, something's not right and you can't call your coach, you can't talk to him. Attach your iTrainer, open your app, make a few swings, and then right there and then, the system can give you something specific to your golf swing. This is not a random or some disconnected sort of piece of advice, coaching advice. It will tell you specifically what you need to do to improve that aspect of the swing based on interactive feedback, based on your swing right there and then.
Especially if you go in here and if you're a coach, and you're an instructor like myself, and you look at something like this and you get to know this system and the way this does things. You have a student that's at a tournament, they're hitting balls, it's the day before and things aren't great. They put it on, get it on their phone or whatever, and then they send it to you. Now you can look at it and basically decipher from the information you get to be able to go back and say, okay, hey, this is what's going on. This is what you need to do.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gathering from
Absolutely.
this. Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Now there's something there's a specific feature that we'll release in the future, and I'd love to come back on when it's ready. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag.
Right.
But we have some work to do, and we need to obviously prove ourselves, being new to the North American market, that this system works. But what I'd like to do, I said, in a month or 2 months, 3 months, as we add new features, to come back and hopefully present and show you basically what the system can do, and then hopefully we I said the end result would be we're offering people these the possibility to basically golf coaching on demand, or you can subscribe monthly if you have a set procedure that you like to follow and you want to see this gradual improvement, or an annual subscription. So it's pretty much like what the phone operators have today. At some point
So basically, in the subscription, they're paying for consult fees, right?
Yeah.
Is that basically what they're doing?
Partially, yes. Inside the system, you've got a certain base level of tuition, and what they're doing is at each step. So that it's not going to fix your swing overnight. It's going to be a gradual process. So, and it's very scientific to go through that process. This is not just some random methodology that we've come up with. This is it's a program that can run for months if you need that level of coaching. But at the same time, it's not meant to replace the coach. It'll help you to a certain level, but ultimately, you'll still need at some point to get some.
Well, you need to get on
coaching.
grass.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do remotely. It's easy to from a interactive coaching standpoint, using this technology, to stand on a practice bay that's flat and hit balls
Off a mat.
off a mat.
Auto-corrective mat. Yeah.
Absolutely. But then, you're standing with an uphill lie, and the wind's, at one angle, and the ball's
Right.
sitting above your feet, and that's different.
Okay.
So-
Right. Right.
Why don't we go over here and
Let's get a demo.
get a demo
I
and
wanna see it.
see what's going on.
Okay, so we set this up, previously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's just get over and I'll
Good
make some
staging.
swings.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to stay here. How about that?
You do whatever you want to do.
Thank you, bud. Again, Darren's going to take us over, and we're actually going to get an iTrainerGolf.com demonstration here with the sync up to the club itself. I actually, folks, downloaded the app just yesterday on my smartphone, and it downloaded almost immediately from Google Play. I went in, looked up the app, downloaded it. It's free of charge, and was able to then sync it up to the actual apparatus that fits onto the shaft. Darren, it's a simple Velcro type clamp type of apparatus.
Correct. So currently we have comes in two parts. The hardware, it's a small sensor, and we have a separate attachment, and it's just a plastic clamp with a piece of Velcro.
Okay.
We have a new clamp coming out which we call Quick Release. So for all new buyers, we'll also add this new clamp in.
Quick
It's just-
release.
if you want to play at home or you're at the range and you don't have patience to spend 5 or 6 seconds, yeah. This
Hugh, hold the mic for Darren. I can't quite hear him.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Just
Yeah, so we have, basically there's a new clamp that we'll release as well. It just makes the whole process a bit faster and more intuitive. But for now, what we'll do is we'll clip the device onto the shaft. The device weighs just over 13 grams.
13 grams.
In ounces, I need to translate.
No, that's fine. Gram weight is what all our viewers and listeners adapt to. So,
We've already set up the app here. So what we're going to do is just go into calibrate mode. We're going to calibrate the club. So within a second, it's ready to go.
okay, so you held the shaft of the club vertical to get it to sync up to the app. Is that correct?
So what we're doing is just hold the club up horizontally with the club face approximately vertical.
Okay.
Just takes half a second, and we're ready to swing.
Okay.
So there are two green lights on the device, and when I'm setting up, it flashes with one green light. I wait for two, or to hear the beep of the app, and away we swing.
Very nice. Now, folks, I want you to notice the app is there's the reaction. I saw the ball flight. That's amazing.
So
it's like looking at any other launch monitor when it shows
It-
you how it goes.
it very
and
much
it
is.
does. That's the cool thing.
It very much is.
yeah, it takes about a second now from the time that we make a swing for the data to be uploaded and displayed, which is
And
pretty
again, the
remarkable.
club is syncing with the app through Bluetooth.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. The other thing is, now there are a few of these technologies on the market, but the reason we're able to provide the simulated ball flight is with the accuracy that we can get. And what we do is we capture that data into the device, and then the information is compressed, which means we just basically squash it all together, and then we send it over the Bluetooth signal. So what that does is it allows us to ensure that the data doesn't have any mistakes or any what we call loss of data. And then the Bluetooth signal is actually quite slow. So we capture the data, we sample the data through the swing at 1/1000th of a second in intervals, and that's how we're able to capture basically the impact position so accurately, is because of the amount of data that we sample and so quickly. That's basically what we call the secret sauce.
That's amazing.
So we take that information, compress it, send it over to the Bluetooth signal, all within less than a second, and it's displayed.
Right.
And
Now, real
that's-
quick, just while we're at this juncture here, you've got your iPad there. You were hitting the club over here. Darren, what is the distance that I need to stay comfortably in for the two to sync up?
Well, Bluetooth generally is about 10 meters, so what's that, 30 feet?
30 feet?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, on a range, we've had people using it, even further than that, but...
Okay, all right. That's a thing. Okay, so we picked up the ball flight there. So what other information are we capturing? I'm not very close to the screen, so I'm not seeing it
Well,
right
what
here.
we show here, we display not just the last swing, but the last 10 swings. So if you can stand here all day and make thousands of swings. But we just display the last 10. You can see down the line, and you can also see the overhead view, which is obviously quite interesting if you don't have the ability. But even at a driving range, because a lot of the time you can't see where the ball lands.
Oh, absolutely. That would be
Showing you
just
the
like a dispersion pattern.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So what I'll do
Very
is I'll
good.
come out of the simulation screen here. We show carry distance and we show deviation as well.
Okay.
Next month we're going to include some other features. So there's some space on the screen here that we still have to show some other information.
Room for growth.
Room for growth, exactly.
So when you actually get into the swing dynamics, and you mentioned a three-dimensional swing, could you demonstrate that for us?
Sure. So I go up here what we call swing replay, and this is my actual swing that was just captured. The yellow line is the backswing, or what we call the rear swing, and then the blue line is the downswing, or what we call the target swing. Now we've added some extra features here. Some coaches like to use lasers to basically show where the club face should be
Right.
pointing, or the butt of the club should be facing. So we also include a feature that if you as a coach like to use laser lines, these are basically virtual laser lines.
Okay.
We also have a feature here which is the introduction to our interactive coaching program. Now, like with most technologies, we're limited with the screen size, with the amount of information we can show. But basically what we show here is, in golf we have, related to the golf swing, we have different positions. Some people call this, say for argument's sake, it's a takeaway, we call it a position point. What we're trying to do is just make the terminology sort of agnostic and simple, so people that haven't played golf can be familiar with the basic points of the golf swing.
Right.
Most obviously golfers in the US understand what takeaway is and 3/4 back and halfway back, but we're just trying to educate make the same education process, but just use slightly different terminology, because further down the track, when we use things like 3/4 back and halfway back and transition, a lot of amateurs still get concerned, or they get confused. So we call these just points, point 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have up to 12 points.
Okay. And again, this is all mathematics. This is all science as far as the app itself reading what the club is doing through the sensor.
Correct.
Okay.
So we also have we have all of the data points that people like to refer to. We have swing speed. If I click them on the dashboard here, we have club head speed. As I mentioned before, we're able to capture impact, not just impact, but also maximum club head speed. Now, everybody wants to hit the ball further.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, but we also know too that you can swing real fast and real hard and not hit it anywhere.
this is true. This is true.
Yeah.
So what we've done here, we've included information that is useful for the average golfer. Some people, they like statistics. Everyone likes their stats. So we provide that information. It's also useful for golf coaches. But what we're seeing here is basically only part of the longer term plan with what I mentioned before about the interactive coaching system. So we provide ratings for consistency and efficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
Useful information, but doesn't mean a lot to the average golfer. But what we would do as we move over the next few months is to use these data points and this information to lead people in to an interactive coaching process.
Right.
Which says, hey, Joe Smith, your club head speed, at impact. Well, my club head speed. Okay, let's look at one here. 98.7% efficiency between your maximum club head speed and speed and impact. What if we could increase that? And I guarantee you, we go into a drill, and I guarantee you that your efficiency will increase by A, B, or C. If we can't do that, we'll give you your money back.
Okay.
That's just one example.
Performance guarantee.
Performance guarantee.
Yeah.
And the same with tempo. So what we're looking to do here is we have a standard system that we offer, and then what we're planning to release by the end of the year is this interactive coaching program that I mentioned, which will offer a money-back guarantee that if we can't give you measurable improvement, remember you can't trick the system. Right? You make swings, we can see there's a pattern, and what we're looking for is patterns in your swing.
Right.
If we can't improve certain aspects of that swing, then we'll give you money back. Now, this is not a marketing or sales tool. It's just that we believe in this product. It's based on science, and with the assistance of your coach, you'll make an even better improvement.
Well, this is all algorithm based, right?
Correct. It's all basically mathematics.
Yeah. So I see any purchaser of this software, the app, the interactive chip, I see anybody partaking in this. Case in point, let's say you've gone through the winter. You haven't hit a club, in a couple of months. You start back into season. You're starting to get ready for the golf season, and hopefully the snow gets off the ground, whatever it may be. But you're able to look at your swing at that time, and then look at it a week later, and then look at it a week later, and then look at it. I mean, you'll see the progression
Sure.
of improvement.
Yeah, and even it's even useful.
Or you're getting worse.
well, hopefully
One or the other. So.
But it's also useful for outdoors. Even if you just want to just to check each time you're out there. Even before you start your practice, a few swings just to make sure that your mechanics are correct. Because a lot of guys go out there, they're not aware that maybe something's changed in their swing. I'm sure Hugh knows this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So you start practicing those habits, and all of a sudden, you're about to go on the practice tee, and the ball flight's doing X or Y, or you're hitting it thin or or fat, or you're coming off the toe or whatever, or you're shaking it. And you have no idea why. So this gives you the opportunity just to make a quick,
Sure.
to have a look and see what's going on.
Well, one thing I see immediately for the higher handicapper is most higher handicaps, and Hugh's the first one to pick up on this, is you cast the club. You lose energy and speed at the top of the swing because that's where a lot of people think that it's, how they hit the ball is from up here versus at the ball. So I see that picking that up and being able to help you with that aspect all just right off the bat.
Yeah. So what we're looking to do as well is provide a series of specific drills that are related to all of the screenshots
Right.
that you see here. So we also realise that even though we can provide certain data that we are confident that will improve the swing, we can't change the industry, and we can't change a lot of the way that people think, and a lot of, and we're not trying to. What we're saying here is this is a tool that can improve your golf swing and improve your swing mechanics, and we'll provide the tool with all of the features of the tools that allow you as an individual, as a coach, to take whatever aspects you want and work on your game.
Right.
And if that doesn't work, then come back to our default, coaching program, and hopefully you'll have some swing improvement. And if you don't, then for this coaching platform that we're going to be launching, which is an extension of what we have now, we'll be giving you, we'll offer you a money back guarantee. So
That's phenomenal.
The product works. What we have now is pretty good. It's been on the market for 2 years. We've already gained in 2 years endorsements from the PGAs of Germany and Australia, and they're pretty tough.
Right.
And our partners in those countries, they spent months testing this product before they took it on board.
Sure.
These guys have all.
If they're going to put their name on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're now ready to launch in the US. We're actually launching on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday.
Congrats.
So everything. Yeah, it's been. Well, we'll see. It's.
It's like the thing, we were talking about earlier when we were sitting here looking at it, George. I mean, this tool right here is along the lines of the launch monitor type, but yet it also gives you more aspects to it, to where it's not just a teaching tool, but it gives you, or the instructor, all the information you need to figure out issues, whether it's downswing, backswing, impact, whatever. And that's what kind of it's got me kind of peaked in this.
Right. Guys, I'm going to ask you to come back over to behind the mics here. Again, we're visiting with Darren McAtee, who is Chief Operating Officer of iTrainerGolf.com Insight. And, of course, iTrainerGolf.com. You can go to the website. I highly recommend you go to the website. It's a very well done website. It's very informative. It's interactive. You can actually go on there and basically provide your email address, and you can become a subscriber to their emails, their updates. I've done that this morning, so now I'm on your list.
Fantastic.
I am too. Much
So
as I hate to do that, I did that.
you have interactive
Right.
videos on the website at iTrainer at home, and then you have iTrainer at the range,
Yeah.
which I think is great, fantastic, good stuff. I plan on using this over in the sim for me.
I'm going to use it, number one, for me, getting ready for what I'm about to do here in about 3 weeks. And then also looking at it with my students, seeing how it performs and what it does.
Oh, your students do?
My students are going to go nuts, especially all the kids
Yeah.
that come from all over the country. I mean, I got them from Canada, Pittsburgh, over in central South Carolina.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, they'll be using it left and right. And
Yeah.
like I said, the price point makes it attractive.
Well, the product's sitting in Amazon right now, so we've actually got products sitting here in the US.
Good.
As I mentioned, we're officially launching in the US next Tuesday. But if people want to go online now onto our website, they can buy it today.
Okay, U.S. dollars.
US dollars, yeah.
We're talking what price?
$249.
$249.99
Yep.
at Amazon. And if you also need a package, I assume we can get it. Right, just contact thegolfdirector.com. I'm sure we can put in touch with you.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. Hugh, I think this is a great product. I think this is one we get behind, and
I tell you what,
definitely.
George, it's definitely piqued my attention. I can promise you.
Yeah.
With what I've seen just this morning, and being able to get out and use it's going to be even better.
What I just before we go on that note, if any golfdirector.com listeners would like to purchase the system, we'll give them a free gift and maybe a cork tree putter grip
Ooh,
There you
as a
go.
special. So
I'm there, dude.
So if they drop Golf Director a line and let us know, then we'll throw a cork tree putter grip in as well.
Oh,
There you
fantastic.
go. Perfect. Thank
Darren,
you.
I can't thank you enough for popping in from Hong Kong to do
pleasure.
this with us.
It's been good fun. Thank
It's
you.
good seeing you. Hopefully we get you back in a couple of months, and we keep progressively updating our viewers and listeners on the iTrainer. So
Very cool.
I'm looking
Come
forward
back.
to it.
Very
Thanks,
cool.
guys.
TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to check out our featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course conditions, specials, and much more. Need help with your next golf vacation?
Just call Dave.
Wow, you were right on that, bud. Give us a call, 844-GO-GOLF1, 844-464-6531. All of our programming is for archive for listening and viewing on demand. To catch up on any show you may have missed, click on the radio or the TGD TV tab in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. We're now available on over 1 billion devices at iTunes, Audio Realm, TuneIn, YouTube, Ustream, Roku, Blueberry, and of course the Myrtle Beach Golf app. For Hugh Roy III, I'm George Honeycutt and Mr. Darren McAtee, Chief Operating Officer for iTrainerGolf.com. We want to thank Jeff and Dee behind the glass, and we want to thank you for tuning in. There's more golf news and information coming up next.